Come with me on this absolutely beautiful Wednesday morning, and we've got a Renault Mégane Monaco GP edition in for a front coil spring. And this spring has had to come from the dealers, believe it or not. First thing we need to do is literally just remove all this scuttle panel. And there you go. Once we've removed all that scuttle panel and then million gazillion screws, just to get that little bit of trim off, to get to that one bolt there. What we're going to do before we take the vehicle up in the air, we're just going to undo that one and that one, take that fully out, and just slacken that one off. Now that we've got the vehicle raised and the driver's side front wheel is off, we need to just remove our ABS wire and our flexible brake hose, and also this little bracket here. You can remove it if the bolt doesn't snap. Take it off, and then we need to focus on the anti-roll bar link and the 2 pinch bolts. Get yourself a little wire brush like so, and literally clean all the threads up, and these bolts should come off fairly easy. And there we go. Once we've got all the nuts and bolts removed, the McPherson strut is now loose, and all we need to do is literally go at the top here and then do this last bolt, wherever it is. I can't see, by here I think. Well, I don't know. Yeah, by there. And there we go. That is one McPherson strut off, and as you can see, it has broken at the top, and it is also damaged the bearing as well. And as you can see, that is where the broken piece is. Anyway, let's get in the spring compressor now and get this broken spring off. Now that we've got it in the compressor, the easiest way I find is the top nut is slacken it off when the weight's still on the spring before you compress it. It gives you more chance of getting it off, and always hold it correctly. And then all we need to do is literally just compress that coil spring. I tell you, these are brilliant, these are. Just like that. And just like that, that broken coil spring is off. But before we put the brand new one on, literally the spring cup, make sure it's nice and clean and there's no stones in there. And we've got this posh new coil spring compressed. And there we go, that is the new coil spring compressed. And then we put the new top mount on, and then just put that nut on. Literally you can wind it on with your fingers, make sure that the actual shock itself is sticking out of the nut. And then what we can do is literally lay it up. Absolutely beautiful. Now before we fit the McPherson strut back to the chassis, the 3 bolts that hold it to the chassis, what we're going to do, we're just going to put a little bit of copper slip on the threads, and believe it or not, I've had that tin since 1984. I'm not sure whether I had it for my first birthday or not. Anyway, still going. And there we have it. That is everything now built back up. All we've got to do now is put the wheel on and get the car back down on the floor. Now that we've got the vehicle back on the floor on all fours, this strut top mount now, we need to tighten these 313s up, and then all we need to do is put all this plastic trim back on. But before we put all this scuttle panel back on, we're going to make sure everything is nice, well, give everything a bit of a cleaner-ooning, and make sure that the drains down the back here are nice and clean, and then we can put all the scuttle back on. And there we go, that is the car pretty much finished. All I've got to do now is torque the wheels up, take it down the road for a little bit of a test drive, and that is one front coil spring replacement on a Renault Mégane Monaco GP edition. Now you should fit them in pairs, but it's all down to customer affordability. So anyway,